What's up? What's up? What's poppin'? Hey, it's Nate Dogg 916 coming at you live from Sacramento, right? Hey, first of all, hit that like, that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you can see this content when it comes up, man. Hey, don't trip. We finna get some interviews coming soon, man. I'm lining some stuff up, but I thought I'd make a little video real quick. Um, I've had people, ask me, uh, how did I do all that time, right? How did I do 17 plus years, or 16, 10, 17? Over my life, I've done even more than that. But that was the joke that I did straight, right? I've had people ask me, how'd you do that? And how'd you keep your mental focus? And how'd you survive, right? You guys got to remember that I had 5 kids before I went to prison. Um, you know, excuse me. I had 5 kids before I went to prison. So the realest thing is the realest thing I can say as far as my kids are concerned is that you gotta basically turn it off, man, because it will literally destroy you. Uh, I talk about the emotional switch. You guys have heard me talk about that. Uh, it will literally destroy you uh, if you think about your kids in the appropriate manner while incarcerated for that long. Uh, I've had relationships that have been damaged, sometimes I believe beyond repair. Um, Not just with my kids, but with people outside of my children. Um, Luckily, a couple of them are still ride or die with me. Um, and I never make an excuse for nothing I've done. I did what I did for foolish reasons. I may have thought one way, but in reality, it was all about glamour and self. Uh, it was never about, it couldn't have been about taking care of them. Because if it was about taking care of them, I would have been out here taking care of them, right? But then we got the fact that my mother, my grandmother, and my aunt that was like very prominent in my life passed away while I was gone, right? So how do you deal with that, right? Well, funny thing is when my mother passed away, wait, no, when my aunt passed away, um, that was like right around the time of the Kings and the Lakers playoff run, where Ori hit that ball from the half point shot. So I basically used that as uh, a catalyst to get out my energy, and we ended up having a little baby riot on the yard uh, with some LA Crip dudes. But it ended up getting something put in my file that when my mom did pass away, they locked me down immediately. So when my sister called and said my mom passed, I was in Pelican Bay, and that was one of the hardest times I've had to deal with in prison, uh, because it was sudden. It wasn't like it was no sickness. It was like it built up, or it was something to be expected. It just happened. Uh, One day she was here, the next day she was gone, and you know, uh, how do I deal with that? You can't. And I thought that I guess I had turned that switch off to the point where uh, I had forgotten all about it. I had forgotten to grieve, right? And then I came home, and my sister gave me a disc of my mom's funeral service, right? And I watched that disc, and the switch was on. Uh, and yeah, it was deep. It was big. I don't even watch that video to this day because I don't think I've dealt with that. I don't think I've truly and completely dealt with that. So the point of this video is I've dealt with everything in that time and in my life because I've had to. Because bottom line, I'm not a quitter. I'm a survivor. I make it. Um, and whatever I gotta do to make it, that's what we gonna do. But fortunately now I have a mindset that there's more than just violence and gangs and stuff like that for me to turn to in order to get to where I'm trying to get. So I'll continue to do what I gotta do to survive the right way. So mentally, um, I had to latch on. You gotta, I had to latch on to something that was in the free world that that would keep me focused on wanting to be free, so I wouldn't get lost in that prison life, So I had my sister, and her kids, because the mother of my children um, decided to move out of the state, and she wanted to move in a whole different state. So I was separated away from my children for like I think 5 years, almost 4 or 5 years, where I didn't see him at all or hear from him. Really, kind of even hear from him until my aunt made it happen. Uh, but I had to latch on to something. So the focus was the fact that I knew I had people out here that loved me. I knew I had people out here that gave a crap about me. You know what I mean? That didn't want to just see me staying stuck in that never ending cycle. That I had been in since I was like 12 and a half. And thankfully for those people that gave me an anchor. Even though some of them fell off, came back, fell off, it was somebody else different. It wasn't always the same exact person. One person rode for a while, but stuff happens. But you have to establish like a true north, even, um, and keep your focus. You have to. It's not easy, man. It's not easy by far, but you got to be strong and you got to stay loyal. I know this is a short video. I just want to put something up to answer that little question. How I made it through all that stuff mentally and physically. Physically, I just went all in. Mentally, I kept that little small piece of Nathan that was in the back, holding on to everything else, holding strong. And Nate Dogg dealt with the rest. So salute. Coming soon, more videos. I love y'all, man. Stay loyal.